I would like to thank, this is pretty loud, the Honorable Judge Ralph Burke Jr. and congratulate him on the 100-year anniversary of your father's birthday. Also, I would like to thank Irene Morrow and the All Nationalities Movement for bestowing this honor on me. I owe my cultural appreciation to my immigrant grandparents who came from the same village in East Slovakia. It was founded in the year 1292, 50 years after the grandsons of Genghis Khan had ravaged that whole entire area. In returning to the village, which was called Siroka Dluha in our dialect, in the 1980s, the entire village was extended family. I learned to dance the Chardash from my mother, who taught me at my cousin's wedding when I was 6 years old. Living with my grandparents at the early age, I sat down with my grandma when I was 5, 6 years old to learn to write in Slovak. I danced with the Ukrainian Russian group in my teens at the Church of the Resurrection on Detroit Avenue. Graduated from John Marshall High School and took summer classes at Baldwin Wallace until I fully attended Kent State University, pursuing a degree in medical technology and East Europe and Soviet studies. I studied 2 years of Russian, 2 years of Slovak, and formed a Russian folk dance group at Kent State at that time. To fulfill my requirements for my bachelor's degree, I had to complete 2 separate research projects. The first in the history of the origins of the Slovak people and their establishment in East Europe. The second in political science, the formation of the first Czechoslovak Republic. My research took me to the Slovak Institute of St. Andrew Abbey of Benedictine Order of Cleveland, under my mentor, Father Andrew Peer, the founder and director. It was my educational discovery that language, song, and dance encoded traditions that were a rite of passage, a socialization process, a way to nurture and preserve ethnic heritage in a land where it was illegal to speak in the mother tongue or show a different nationality, cultural heritage. My second research revelation was the history of the Slovak immigration to Cleveland and how it played an active and important role in the civil rights movement of the Slovak and Czech peoples. 1,000 years of foreign domination of the Slovak and Czech historical territories in an oppressive conditions forced migrations of masses here. Between 1889 and 1929, 1/3 of the population of East Slovakia migrated to America. In the 1910 census of Cleveland, it was estimated that 10% of the total population working in the steel mills and mining industries in Cleveland area were of Slovak origin. It was here in Cleveland that the first Catholic Slovak Union was founded in 1890 by Father Stefan Furtick, whose publication, Jednota, the Union, still today informs Slovak Americans news of the homeland in Slovak and English. Out of the reaction of the outrage around the world in learning of the events happening in Austro-Hungary, the Slovak League of America was formed here in 1907 in downtown in Gray's Armory with a gathering of 10,000 people who drew together actions of Slovak immigrants into a cohesive contingency to be an advocate for Slovak civil rights with the ideas of self-determination and self-government. Here in Cleveland, at Bohemian National Hall on Broadway, in 1915, in a bold move, the Czechs and Slovaks came together, despite their differences, and signed an agreement, the Cleveland Agreement, called the Slovak Bill of Rights. the Czechoslovak Declaration of the Czechoslovak Declaration of Independence, calling for a breakaway union of the Czech and Slovak people into their own historical territories from Austro-Hungary, forming their own national unit, with complete autonomy for the Slovak people in a federated republic, with their own laws, government, language, and schools. This history weighed heavy on the minds and on my mind, and I carried it with me to educate those who cared to listen. 1982, I joined an upstart group called Lucina, Slovak Folk Ensemble. I graduated from Kent State University and continued to study Slovak language with a Fulbright scholar at John Carroll University independently, and received an invitation to study at an intensive language program at Comenius University in Bratislava, Czechoslovakia, called Studuje Akademia Slovákov in 1987. In that summer, I also attended a choreography course offered by the Matica Slovenska to those who were interested in teaching in foreign countries by the state folk choreographers. Returning to the U.S., invigorated, I received an invitation from Paul Janko to teach Cleveland's children's Slovak folk ensemble, Travnica, of which I assumed the responsibility and applied the learning to practice. In 1989, I received an invitation to return to the choreographer's school, sponsored by my Matica Slovenska, with the state folk ensemble directors. After encouraging the parents of Travnica, I left with a letter to ask for an invitation to perform at the two largest folk festivals, Detva and Východná, the returning year. Travnica returned with Lucina. We each had to learn each other's choreography, of which it was my job to teach them.